Yes, as a content creator that only makes car content on GTA, I do hate some cars. Here are a few, hopefully you enjoy the video. The Comet S2 Cabrio. Everyone was so happy when the Comet S2 came into the game. It's like such a fan favorite car. Everyone loves, I don't know who doesn't love a 911. Actually, comment in the comment section if you don't like the Porsche 911. I don't think anyone on the earth hates the car. And then when they brought it out, 1.4 million? What? Is this actually Rockstar releasing this? The Comet S2, which they knew was going to be bought by a lot of people, they actually put up for an affordable, kind of affordable price. With so many modifications you could add. This was mental. This was crazy. This is not Rockstar. And because it was in the Tuners DLC, you could actually stance the car as well. Oh my god. Not forgetting the crazy realism of how it looks compared to the real life counterpart. But then this was all to hatch Rockstar's evil plan, the Comet S2 Cabrio. Only to come out a few weeks later. Comet S2 Cabrio is like a curse. It's delete a lot of modifications, take off the stance option, and you get an automatic roof. So okay, less modifications, no stance option. So surely it should cost less. No, it costs more. 1.7 million. Like, what? Why does Rockstar think an automatic roof is a 300k more option? Not an option, you have to buy the whole car. But I said it in other videos, why couldn't they just add the option of a drop top in the modifications? It was almost like Rockstar were thinking, how much can we get away with? It's almost like I don't need to speak for this car. The comment section will speak for me. I think we all know why I don't like this car. But on the other hand, a lot of people do like this car as well. Most people just accept it for what it is. You know, the overall dynamics of the car and the look of the car is like a Mustang. But then when you look at it, it looks nothing like a Mustang. And now you've got the Hellfire, the Vigero ZX, that looks so realistic to their counterpart. And then the Mustang is left behind. And yeah, it is a bit of an earlier car, but that's not the only issue with this car. Some of them, a lot of the modifications are just hideous on this car. This car handles quite well, actually, quite well. But some people want to see some character. Some people want this to have a bit more torque, actually spin from the rear, and not have that stupid glitch of when it stalls when you're driving. A lot of people know this as double clutching. When you double clutch this car, it's like non-existent. The car will just stall. And sometimes when you're just driving normally, that's what will happen. I think it is a strange one. A lot of people don't like it. I personally do not like it. I've not even touched it. If you watch any of my videos, you'll see I've had this same color on it since it came out. I'm definitely not motivated to spend any more time on this car. Rockstar were really taking the mick with this one. The Tundra, Panther, Panther, whatever you want to call it. I've got some names I'd really like to call it. But as we know, it's based off the Alpine A10 in real life. A budget, really good track car. GTA thought they'd go with the opposite approach. Stupidly expensive, 2.1 million. Not so good track car. Now, this is definitely not for the average driver. If you're just the average GTA driver that wants to get to places fast, this car will annoy you. You will spin out so much. You really do need to have patience and let off the throttle a lot with this car. And even when you do that, with some momentum, you still are going to spin out. Honestly, what is this about? This is a car that costs 2.1 million, but it thrives at nothing. If anything, it just doesn't thrive. It doesn't stand out, doesn't have any pros. Okay, maybe the front end is quite nimble, but then the back end can't keep up. The back end is just so loose. I don't think anyone can argue this is worth 2.1 million. This car probably worth 1.2 million max. It's based off the Alpine A110, but literally has no characteristics. The ISI Rally. I definitely did not think I was going to put a HSW car on this list, because HSW cars are quite groundbreaking, but not everyone also has the HSW version. I'm referring to last gen consoles. But this car, it's just a stupid money pit. 1.835 million. No one would ever be able to convince me 5 years ago that they're going to bring a Mini into the game that's going to cost 1.8 million. That's not even with the HSW upgrades. Now, driving this car around off-road, it's not the best rally car, and that's because it's in the SUV class. And in real life, it's a Countryman, which is like a mini SUV. If you're looking for a vehicle for off-road races that are in the SUV class, then this is the car for you. Like, what? I really think this was just a last minute decision from Rockstar. I think they want a HSW vehicle in every single class, you know, motorcycles, classic muscle, modern muscle, rally. They want all the classes in GTA covered with at least one HSW car. You know, what's the complaint, Hella? Being a HSW car, it costs 605,000 extra, bringing the total of this car to 2.4 million. Like, what is this? That's not even the modifications added. Like, what? Once we're finished modifying this Issy and Mini Countryman, we're near 3 million in GTA. That is the most insane thing about this car. The price of it. What? It's so shocking. It's in such a weird class of vehicle. So as soon as these cars release, I normally make a video and show them, customize them when they're released. And this car kind of made it unreasonable for me to even make a video on it because it costs so much for so low interest. The Surfer Custom, another car which I'm like, why did they even bring this into the game? We already have a Surfer, which we could have just added modifications to, like they have with many other vehicles in the game. When the modifications for the Turismo R came out, they didn't make another vehicle, they just added the modifications and people could go to LSC to put them on. But Rockstar will probably like, no, the Surfer's too cheap, it's a street car, you need to go and buy another Surfer, so 442,000. So what was the difference? The windows at the front. The windows at the front are open instead of closed. And they're not even really open. You can't shoot a flare into the cabin. It's not really an open window. So Rockstar kind of scammed you here. You have to buy another Surfer to put modifications on. And then you're probably thinking, hello, you know, it's faster. It's like a fraction faster. How is the Surfer Custom not less used? Surely more people are driving around the XA21 than they are the Surfer Custom. Now, what would have made this car worth it is if you could actually put HSW on it and then it just be a silly engine swapped Surfer. I don't care about handling. I just want this thing to have stupid power and make no sense instead of making no sense to add this vehicle. I'm not going to speak much on the Astron because I'm pretty sure I've ranted about this car so many times. A nice SUV Porsche that looks so nice and similar to the actual Macan. You know, it raises your interest. You want to buy this car. It's in the SUV class. There's not many SUVs in the game that look really nice. But we had one, which was the Astron. So you felt comfortable paying the 1.58 million for it. No problem at all. It only becomes a problem when they release another one called the Astron Custom, which is 1.72 million. And it's a wide body version. It's everything the Astron is and way better. You can HSW it. What? That just gets silly at this point. We are talking literally the same car but a wide body version. And now you can HSW it. It really makes you feel like all that money that you spent on the Astron just went to waste. Ah, the iWagon. An electric family car that nobody asked for. The effort put in this car could have been used for a car that people wanted. What does this car strive in? Nothing. It's one of the more boring cars to be released. As soon as I bought this, I drove it around for like 5 minutes and then never drove it again. A car that made no sense to bring and definitely not worth 1.72 million. How can this thing be worth more than a Comet S2? You still got the Neon and the Raiden, which are faster than this car. And both 4 doors, both are more demanded, and yeah, they have general hype around them. But the iWagon, who wanted this? The Cyclone, do I really need to speak about this car? It's redundant now, but I've always hated this car. I really never liked the look of the car. It was based off a concept car, and it was 1.89 million. Now, I would definitely say it was worth it back then. It was stupidly fast accelerating, but as GTA has evolved, stupidly fast is now pretty slow. Okay, it's not slow, but now you've got the Cyclone 2 and many cars that make the Cyclone look slow. 1.89 million this car costed. It did cost that much. You can't really buy it anymore. But this is one that I agree with that should have been removed, because what's the point having it when the Cyclone 2 is out? Some people might see the other side of that and say, oh, GTA want us to buy the more expensive one. But you know what? Even if you don't HSW the Cyclone 2, it looks better, it's faster, and that's a way better car to buy. I remember when the Devesti 8 came out, this car is like a cross between a supercar and a Batmobile. A car that was literally just based off rumors. It's like a kit car and got all its attention that way. And Rockstar made full use of that by adding it into the game. knowing that it's going to be an easy sale because it's all over the internet about its 2,000, 5,000 horsepower variant. So people in GTA wanted to see what that was all about. You know what? For what class of car it is, 1.8 million actually wasn't that much. 1.8 million, that's the same as the iWagon on this list. Then the HSW upgrade cost 1.1 million. But this was like the first supercar with HSW in the game. You expected it to be the top fastest car in the game. But no, it was still getting beaten by muscle cars. And really, I've always wanted to sell this car since I first put it in my garage. But I knew I was probably going to make more videos on it. So I'll keep it for now. Let me know in the comments what you hate. And yeah, if you want to join our Discords where we do car trading, car meets on all consoles, then it'll be the first link in the description.